Let's do one more problem using grid division. So we'll do 874 divided by 25. And keep in mind that no matter which way you use, whether the traditional algorithm or the standard algorithm or partial quotients or even grid division, this first number always goes inside and this last number goes on the outside. So for example, 25 will be outside and then 874 goes inside. Notice again that I'm leaving a space right here because just in case I need to write more numbers. Okay. First thing we need to do is figure out how many 25s can fit inside 8. Well, 0, because 25 is too big for 8. So 25 times 0 is 0. Notice that I put a time sign just in case you need it. And then I'll go ahead and subtract. And now I have 8 left over. Keep in mind that 8 is in the hundreds place. So that means I have 8 hundredths left over. Now, let's see what happens when I put this 8 over here. And I put it in the tens place, because this is the tens place. Now, look at this. I just said that 8 hundredths is the same thing as me putting 80 tens, because I have 87 tens, and this 8 represents 80. So I have 80 tens. What I'm basically saying is that 800 is the same thing as 80 tens. Wait, is that right? 800 is the same thing as 80 tens? Oh, yes it is. Okay. So there's just something to keep in mind. You don't have to necessarily... it's a good thing to know. Okay, let's keep on going. Now how many 25s can go into 87? Well, I know how much it can, how many 25s it can go, but what if I did this a different way? What if I said, well, all I know is 2 times 25 is 50, because I know quarters. I know 2 quarters make 50 cents. What if I did that? Well, 87 minus 50 is 37. And now just by seeing this, I can still put another 25 and I can fit it into 37. So I know that 25 times 1 is 25. And now my remainder here is 12. And now I know that 25 is too big for 12, so I can't do any more in the tens column. But now I can say, let me move these 12 tens over here. So here's another statement that I'm making while doing that. 12 tens, which is basically 120, is the same thing as 120. This 12 right here represents 120 ones. This is 120 ones. So what I'm saying is 12 tens is the same thing as 120 ones. That's just a side note. Okay, not really necessary, but a good thing to keep in mind. Now I need to think about how many 25s go into 124. Well, I'll say 4. And so 25 times 4 is 100. That might be hard to see. This is 100. So 124 minus 100 is 24. And now again, depending on what kind of answer we want, we can say that the final answer to this question is, well, 0 hundreds, 3 tens, and 4 ones, so 34. And we could say that either the remainder is 24. So this is one answer, 34 remainder 24. Let me see if I can go ahead and show. Or I could also say that, well, we have 24 out of 25 here. So I have 34 and a remainder of 24 out of 25. So these are two possible answers. Or if I needed a decimal answer, I would have to keep on going. And again, the way I would do this, I wanted a decimal answer. One thing I could do is now I could include a decimal point, and I would include another column, and I would add a 0. So I'm basically taking this 874 and making it 874 and 0 tenths. So I could keep on going, and I would just continue. So I could keep on going until I reach the end. But there's another cool way to do this if I wanted a decimal. So for example, what if I just decided to multiply by 4? Now I would have 24 times 4, which is 96. And then 25 times 4 is 100. So wait, this is 96 hundredths. 96 hundredths. And so that's basically 34. 34 and 96 hundredths. Okay? So basically 3 answers. If you need a remainder answer, this is one answer. If you need a mixed number answer, here's that answer. Or if you need a decimal answer, there's that answer. Alright? Hopefully, grid division is helpful for you if you don't like using the other ways, like the standard algorithm or partial quotients. Alright? Hopefully you find a way that works for you, but for many people who struggle with long division, I would suggest using grid division because I feel like you can see the steps a little more clearly than traditional. But again, find the way that works for you. Good luck with doing long division. Take care. Bye.